Have you noticed that your legs don't feel the same anymore? Maybe they feel heavy when you get out of bed. Maybe your ankles swell by evening. Or perhaps you've started taking a few extra seconds before standing up, wondering why your legs suddenly feel older than the rest of you. What most people don't realize is that poor leg circulation often doesn't start in the heart. It starts in the muscles. The real problem isn't simply aging. It's that some of the muscles that once helped push blood back up through your legs slowly become less active over time. Think of those muscles like tiny pumps. When they stop working efficiently, blood moves more slowly, and that's when heaviness, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue can begin to show up. The good news? In many cases, simple daily movement can help wake those pumps back up. And the first exercise I'm about to show you may be one of the easiest ways to get started. Let's start with exercise number 1. Exercise number 1, seated ankle pumps. Let's begin with one of the simplest movements in this entire routine. And if you're thinking, "Doctor, that sounds too easy to make a difference," I completely understand. In fact, that's exactly what many older adults tell me before they try it. Sit in a sturdy chair with both feet flat on the floor. Sit tall, but stay relaxed. Your shoulders should feel loose, your jaw relaxed, and your breathing calm. Now slowly lift your heels while keeping your toes on the floor. Hold for a second. Then lower your heels and gently lift your toes while keeping your heels down. That's one cycle. Continue moving back and forth at a slow, steady pace. Heel up, toes up, heel up, toes up. Think of the rhythm of a quiet clock, not a race. As you do this, breathe naturally. There's no need to force deep breaths. Just let the movement and breathing flow together. What most people don't realize is that a powerful circulation muscle sits deep inside the calf. When it contracts, it helps push blood upward through the legs, almost like a small pump working below the heart. As we get older, especially after years of sitting more and moving less, that pump can become less active. Blood begins to linger in the lower legs longer than it should. That's often when people start noticing heavy legs by afternoon, tight socks leaving marks around the ankles, or that sluggish feeling when they first stand up in the morning. Now pay attention to your calves while you're moving. You may feel a gentle tightening. That's exactly what we want. Imagine you're slowly wringing out a sponge, helping fluid move where it needs to go. Most people do this wrong by moving too fast. Fast repetitions look productive, but they often reduce muscle engagement. Slow and controlled is where the real benefit happens. Try performing this movement for about 2 minutes. If that feels like too much today, start with 30 seconds and gradually build up. Progress matters more than perfection. And if you have knee pain, weakness, or balance concerns, don't worry. This exercise can be done entirely from a chair, making it one of the safest ways to begin supporting circulation. Many older adults tell me they notice their legs feel warmer and lighter afterward. Not dramatically, just a little more awake, a little more responsive. And that small change is important because circulation doesn't usually improve through one big effort. It improves through small signals repeated consistently. Now that we've started waking up the lower leg circulation system, let's move to the next exercise and build on that foundation. Exercise 2. Seated knee extensions. One of the first signs that circulation and strength are changing after 70 isn't swelling or pain. It's hesitation. That brief moment before standing up from a chair. That tiny pause before climbing a step. Most people brush it off, but your body is trying to tell you something. This next movement is called the seated knee extension, and it targets an area many older adults overlook, the front of the thigh. These muscles help far more than walking. They help support blood flow, stability, and the confidence to move without constantly second-guessing your legs. Sit near the front edge of a sturdy chair with both feet flat on the floor. Let your shoulders relax and keep your back comfortably tall. Now slowly straighten your right leg until it feels naturally extended in front of you. Don't force the knee straight. Just move to a comfortable position. Once your leg is extended, gently tighten the muscles on the top of your thigh and hold for 5 seconds. You should feel firmness, not pain. As you hold, breathe normally. Inhale through your nose. Exhale slowly through your mouth. Then lower the leg back down with control. Imagine you're setting a fragile glass on a table rather than dropping it. Repeat the movement on the other side. Alternate back and forth for 10 repetitions per leg. Now here's something most people don't realize. Your thigh muscles act a bit like powerful assistants for circulation. When they contract, they help move blood through the large vessels of the upper leg. As those muscles become weaker with age, movement often feels heavier. Not necessarily because you're getting older, but because your body has fewer active muscles helping support each step. If you've ever noticed that getting out of a car feels harder than it used to, or that standing from a chair requires using your hands, this may explain exactly what you've been feeling. Pay attention to where the effort comes from. The work should stay in the front of the thigh. Try not to lean backward or swing the leg upward. That's one of the most common mistakes. Momentum takes over and the muscle stops doing the job. If your knee feels sensitive, don't extend the leg completely. A smaller range of motion is perfectly fine. You can still receive benefit from the movement. And here's a hidden insight I often share with my older patients. Many people think circulation problems begin in the feet, but quite often the process starts higher up when the large muscles of the thighs gradually stop participating in movement the way they once did. That's why this simple exercise can feel surprisingly meaningful. With consistent practice, many older adults begin noticing that standing feels smoother, walking feels more natural, and their legs feel more dependable throughout the day. Not because they've become stronger overnight, because they're reminding the body how to use muscles that may have been sleeping for years. That's a powerful step forward. But now, let's move into the next exercise. Exercise 3. Standing calf raises. Have you ever noticed that your legs feel surprisingly tired after doing almost nothing? Not after a long walk, not after hard work, just after standing in the kitchen for 10 minutes or walking through the grocery store. Many older adults assume that's simply part of getting older, but most seniors never realize that one of the biggest changes after 60 is not strength alone. It's how efficiently the lower legs help move blood back upward throughout the day. That's exactly why I want to show you this next movement. The standing calf raise. Find a sturdy chair, countertop, or table and place your hands on it lightly. Not to hold yourself up, but simply to feel secure. Stand with your feet about hip width apart. Let your shoulders relax and keep your knees soft, not locked. Now slowly rise onto your toes. Take your time. Feel your heels lift away from the floor as your weight shifts gently toward the balls of your feet. When you reach the top, pause for 2 full seconds. Breathe out slowly and notice the muscles in the back of your lower legs tightening. Then lower your heels back down with control. Not a drop, not a bounce, a slow return. Imagine you're lowering yourself through thick water. That's the pace we're looking for. Repeat this movement 12 to 15 times, then rest briefly before performing a second round. As you do this, something interesting begins happening inside the body. The calf muscles start squeezing and releasing rhythmically. Think of it like gently pressing and releasing a garden hose, helping fluid move where it's supposed to go. What most people don't realize is that blood has to travel upward against gravity all day long. As we age and become less active, that process often becomes less efficient. That's when the afternoon heaviness starts, the swollen ankles, the feeling that your legs are working harder than they should. If you've ever sat down at the end of the day and felt immediate relief in your legs, you've already experienced this process firsthand. Now pay attention to how your body feels during the movement. You should feel effort in the calves, but not strain in your neck, shoulders, or lower back. One of the most common mistakes is rushing through the repetitions. Fast movements may feel productive, but slow control creates far more muscle engagement. If balance is a concern, keep both hands on the countertop and perform a smaller heel lift. Even a short range of motion can be beneficial. And here's a hidden insight many seniors find surprising. Sometimes the feeling of weak legs isn't coming from weakness alone. It's coming from muscles that have stopped participating fully in circulation and movement throughout the day. When those muscles begin working again, many people describe a completely different sensation. Their legs feel lighter. Walking feels smoother, standing feels less exhausting, and perhaps best of all, they stop thinking about their legs every few minutes because the discomfort is no longer demanding their attention. I always tell my patients that this is one of those exercises that doesn't look impressive from the outside. But inside the body, a lot is happening. So take a moment when you're finished. Stand quietly. Notice how your legs feel. That gentle warmth, that subtle sense of awakening, that feeling that your lower body is becoming more responsive again. Those small changes matter because they are often the first signs that your body is remembering how to support you. And when all three of these exercises begin working together, that's when many older adults start noticing meaningful changes in how they move through everyday life. Now, before we finish, there's one final thing I want you to understand about protecting your mobility and circulation as you age. A small daily habit that may change more than you think. Before we finish, I want to leave you with one important thought. These three exercises may look simple, but please don't underestimate them. The body often responds best to movements that are gentle, consistent, and repeated day after day. You don't need to do them perfectly. You just need to keep showing up. Now, I'd love to hear from you. How old are you today? What symptom brought you to this video? Heavy legs, swollen ankles, cold feet, difficulty standing up from a chair? Let me know in the comments below. And here's my challenge for you. Try these exercises consistently for the next few weeks. Don't skip them just because they seem too easy. Sometimes the simplest movements are the ones our aging bodies need the most. Most importantly, if one of these exercises gives you noticeable results, come back and tell us about it. Which exercise helped the most? How did your legs feel afterward? Your experience could encourage someone else who is struggling with the very same problem. Thank you for spending this time with me today. Take care of your legs, keep moving, and remember, small daily actions can lead to meaningful changes over time. I'll see you in the next video.